Hi, I'm Rachel Walmsley and I am one of TCD's managers and facilitators.
And I'm Bex and I'm another one. TCD is tackling stigma in the community through diverse activities.
TCD is made up of 10 projects, so we have Luke's Lads and we have 3 age groups underneath Luke's Lads. So we have the adults, 16 to 19s and the juniors. And then we have the butterflies, which is like the female version of Luke's Lads, and same again with all the different age groups. Caterpillars, which is a new parent and baby group, which is the same model that we use for Luke's Lads and butterflies. We also have Strictly Twilight and Twilight Tutus and Beyond Wheels.
Being a charity that tackles isolation and social isolation was obviously very difficult at a time where everybody was socially isolating. So what we had to do was take all our classes online. We were making sure that everybody who uses our services and comes to our classes, although they may have been isolated at home, at least they still had access to other people and were able to have a laugh, still move. So we were able to keep our model, which is about movement, and be able to sort of still have a social network.
During lockdown at Shield, in an instant I felt very isolated, very alone. And then Rachel started putting the classes on Zoom. So it kept that link, that connection, because I could talk to people at each session that we did. And it alleviated the loneliness. It helped to know that on a Thursday I wasn't alone. I had somebody there to talk to. If I were having a bad day, they were there. And I knew I could connect with them any day of the week.
We set up Luke's Lads 3 years ago now, well just over 3 years ago, when one of my best friends took his own life through mental health problems. The main reason is that we didn't want anybody else to go through the same situation that we have, because it's heartbreaking, and I don't think it's something you ever get over. But if you can, in a position to give back or use your experience for someone else to help them get through a tough period in their life or whatever that situation may be, I can give my experience and hopefully help them, and that's the main goal. But we use the exercise to get them feeling good and then let their emotions out and hopefully feel better.
Hello, my name's Harvey and I've been attending Luke's Lads for 3 months. I started going through a lot of substance abuse with alcohol, and my dad mentally abused me and made me feel like every day. Turned to alcohol to numb the pain of how my dad was making me feel, which in turn made everything feel worse. It got to one night where I got so drunk with my mates at the night of the Euro final, which I let everything out, ruining everyone's night. All my friends helped me and all my friends' parents helped me, and I wouldn't be where I am today because the way I was feeling, I felt like I didn't want to be here anymore, and maybe it'd be better if I wasn't here. But ever since coming here, it's been a real help. It's allowed me to speak to people about my problems, which I didn't do while I was living at my friend's, because it was a lot of toxic masculinity, especially with him saying that I were a pussy if I spoke about my problems and stuff, which made me kind of feel like I have to keep everything withheld within myself and all my feelings together, which eventually just all pulled out and built up to how I was feeling at the time.
Hello, my name is Caitlin. I'm part of Butterflies, the 16 to 19s group. I think my favourite part about it is just the fact that when I first got here, both Bex and Rachel, they were like really just welcoming and friendly, and just having that nice friendly face and someone to be like, take me aside and have a chat with me and make me feel settled and welcoming. That's probably my favourite part about it, the fact that everyone here is just so like encouraging and it feels like a safe space.
One of the difficulties with the pandemic was the amount of suicide interventions that we were having to deliver through all the age groups that we work with. Obviously, people felt very isolated, very lonely. That had a massive effect on mood. And much as we are trained to, and unfortunately quite experienced at helping out with safety plans, unfortunately having to do a lot of that online or virtually was quite difficult.
And especially when it's children.
Yeah.
You know, the suicide interventions, I think we need to really talk about it more now that there's so many children that we work with who are going through absolute hell. And that's so different aspects of their life, and a lot of the time it's bullying, it's social media, that kind of thing, that's what's going on. And when an 11-year-old is stood in front of you saying, I'm gonna take my life and this is the plan, and I'm going to throw myself in front of this train at a certain time on a certain day, and the plan is there, listening to that child, and you know that child's going to go through with it. That's one of the hardest things you ever do, and it's just going into that.
It's that even having that plan of how I'm going to make my bed look full by padding my bed out so that if my mum comes in to check on me, she's not going to know that I'm not there.
For us to continue our sessions, and we make everything free at the point of access, because obviously we know that finances are a huge barrier, especially for those who've got mental health issues, to actually access services. So it's massively important that we break down that barrier, that they're able to access and come down to the studio. We need your help. We need everybody in the community, which we are extremely grateful for, because the community have been amazing, and we are so proud of the fact that we're still here after lockdown. There's so many charities, unfortunately, that have had to close their doors, but we're still here. But for us to continue, that's what we need, in the help of the community and all our fundraising bids, and that's the only way that we can keep going and keep saving those lives.